also bought into it, but let's also be very clear. I also think it caused a lot of destruction too within our culture, the way we interact with each other, our behavior. Because we like to follow what we see on TV. Let's be very clear. What is represented in the media, what is represented, and obviously it can also show like a reflection of society and what we do, but it's just obviously more dramatized on TV. But just because sometimes things can be a reflection of society does not also mean that it should be amplified on TV, right? Like we were just discussing too on baby mama, baby daddy culture. Things that are more amplified on TV. People tend to overindulge in that. People tend to, oh, this was really going on. Okay, let's also participate in it. So I think we need to be honest about that. So I was watching this documentary yesterday, and I will say this. That one comment by that guy, what's his name? Richard Dominic. I think in the beginning of the first episode or like the second episode, Richard Dominic was like the executive producer of the Jerry Springer Show. And honestly, quite frankly, he was the backbone of the Jerry Springer Show. And one of the interviewers asked him a question. It was an old interview. He was like, what would be one thing that you won't do on TV? And then Richard Dominic said, nothing. I will do everything on TV. He was like, if I could kill somebody on television, I will execute somebody on television to get high ratings and to get the bag. So clearly, Richard Dominic had no morals. And if we're going to be honest too, I know people, Jerry Springer is dead and stuff like that, blah, 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 blah. But let's also be very clear too. Jerry Springer really didn't have any morals either. Him and Richard Dominic really were about the bag. They were about that money. They wanted that coin. They wanted high ratings, and they were going to get it by any means necessary, even at the cost of human life. Now, obviously, y'all going to be like, oh, what am I talking about? Of course, in the second episode. I don't want to spoil it, quite frankly, because if y'all want to watch it, y'all can. But like, there's a situation that happened in the second episode. And I didn't know about this either. I didn't know about the scandal with Jerry Springer as far as like him. And I would say, oh wait, only one spoiler alert. I didn't know about his scandal as far as like him sleeping with one of his guests, apparently, or having a threesome. I don't know that. And then there's also a second scandal that happened, which I won't spoil. But even though like they weren't directly like even though they weren't directly like involved in that situation that happened in the second episode, but obviously like there was just, I would say they played a little part. But y'all go watch it and see